Listen to this message from me sitting in this exact same place. Oh yeah, boom. Hello tea friends and welcome to Jesse's Tea House. I'm your tea guy Jesse, and today I'm here to talk about the mini Tong tea collection. This is one mini Tong, hand-wrapped bamboo that's put into this thing that's called a Tong, which is like a caddy. The original way that Pu'er tea was sold was in these bamboo tongs with 357 gram cakes. So 7 big tea cakes in one giant bamboo tong. We have done it now, but with these tea coins. And the reason we did this is because if you get this sampler, you can try 7 different types of tea, all from Sister Ai's mountains in DuiDui in Yunnan, China. Her and her family have several tea mountains over there. They make different types of tea, different grades of tea, different flavors of tea, different processing types of tea, and all of those different flavors we put together here so you can try out some really good stuff direct from the farmers, but not need to buy a ton of any one type until you know what you like. So let's get right into it. So this is Sister Ai's Everyday Ancient Tree Sheng Pu'er tea. There's a lot of words here. It was funny, somebody once told me they also sold stuff on the internet and they're like, all the names for your products are horrible. For search optimization, it's 15 different words, like Sister Ai's Everyday Ancient Tree Sheng Pu'er tea. What is that? But I'm like, that's what it is. If you went to a Chinese tea scene and you're like, hey, I want to have a sort of everyday ancient tree from trees older than 200 years old. Sheng Pu'er, Sheng is also called raw pu'er. That's what you would ask if you wanted to find the tea in China. It wouldn't be called Flavor Bomb, Twilight Zone, or something like that. That's what it's called. Anyway, this tea coin, basically it's pressed loose leaf tea. If you've never seen these tea coins before, if this is somehow the first video of the series you're watching, welcome. That's been shaped into this disc. Tea coin is made out of raw pu'er tea. Look at all the little white hairs on this, the hull. Very good sign for tea quality if you can have these nice white hairs on your tea. One of the biggest points of confusion about tea is that pu'er tea is still pretty new in the West. Most people don't know a lot about pu'er tea. And if they've tried pu'er tea before, you've probably tried this super dark, super earthy tea that's called shou pu'er or cooked pu'er. The raw pu'er really doesn't have much of a market outside of China. This is the stuff that the tea farmers themselves drink all the time. And this has incredible tea energy. This is my get shit done tea. You try this stuff and you're running the rest of the day. I actually don't drink this after 4 p.m. If you're sensitive to caffeine, this might not be the tea for you, but I would give it a try just in the morning. One other note though, make sure you've eaten something before you try this tea because it is just very powerful. If there's nothing in your stomach, sometimes it can give people stomach aches. It's not bad for you again, it's just powerful. So take it for what it is, it's strong tea. So raw pu'er is a little bit tricky to make because while it's in this coin, we actually need to give it a little bit of an extra long steep so that it can start to open up. But once it's fully open, the steeps are gonna be very short. The raw pu'er, as you can already see, has a very different color from that dark and earthy, almost like black or brown or dark amber cooked pu'er. This is going to be lighter, it's going to be cleaner, it's almost gonna look a little bit like a green tea, but it's gonna taste very different than a green tea. There was a period in the Chinese tea scene where the pu'er actually created a bubble. What happened is that, China was developing, this was maybe in the 2000s or so. The bubble popped in 2008 or 9 or something like that, but up until there, the early aughts and the late 90s, there'd be a lot of people that would buy this very, very nice pu'er. They would press it into cakes and then they would age it. And the pu'er tea does get better with age, which is one of the reasons why people were doing this. The aging creates a much more kind of a deeper, richer, darker flavor. And the younger raw pu'er doesn't have as much of that. And so as it ages, it gets more and more valuable. The problem was that people bought all this tea and they aged it 7 years, which is generally considered fully aged. Obviously you can't age it longer, but at 7 years, people really start to drink it as aged pu'er. And then when it came time for people to pay the massive amounts of money, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars for single tea cakes that size, there just weren't enough wealthy people that wanted to buy tea for that much money. And I kind of get it because it was good, but there was a lot of it there because there was a bubble, so they started making a lot more. So the result of it is that the pu'er bubble kind of crashed. You can still find really good tea from the bubble that now you can get a lot cheaper from before, but I wouldn't recommend buying this for an investment, although people do that. I would recommend you buy it to drink it and you can enjoy it. But one of the fun things of the raw pu'er is you can buy different ages of raw pu'er, different regions of raw pu'er, and they're all gonna taste a little bit different. All right, here we go. First steep is quite light. Here we go. Yeah, very light. Scent. Very nice. Like I just love the raw pu'er scent. It's like floral, but also like really clean, a little bit grassy almost, but just like very energizing. It's almost like just smelling it, I'm already like, you know, up and ready to go. It does need time to open up, which is why this first steep is oftentimes poured out. The raw pu'er in particular really does benefit from this wash steep. The first steep here, you'll see the color of it is really, looks like a green tea basically. Very, very clear. You can see all the hull, the little hairs floating around in there. Very, very cool. Of course, you can drink it. It's nice. Little bit of a lemony flavor that's already coming out. Sister I's raw pu'er, that's kind of like one of my favorite tasting notes. It does have this like lemony citrus thing going on. It's not there yet though. Like I really do advise that you do a wash steep for your raw pu'er on this first steep. You know, you can drink it, it's not a problem. If you want maximum tea energy, the caffeine in the tea tends to come out of the tea leaf earlier, so the earlier steeps are gonna have more caffeine. I've already had multiple things of tea today and I'm going to be drinking a lot more of it. That's also one of the reasons why people will pour out the wash. If you know you're gonna be drinking tea all day and multiple types of tea, you might not wanna get too up there so quickly. While the water is reheating, listen to this message from me sitting in this exact same place. Hey, whoa, it's Jesse. I'm in the middle of my own video. I just wanted to take one moment to let you guys know that I am publishing a book. It is called This Was Funnier in China. Before I was your tea guy, I spent a decade in China as a professional comedian. I apprenticed to a master, Ding Guangquan, and this book is about my study with Master Ding. Master Ding gave me this fan when I apprenticed to him in 2014. Xiangsheng, traditional Chinese comedy, which is a two-man comedy style. There's a joker and a straight man. They go back and forth and back and forth. This is a book I spent 7 years writing about the time that I studied traditional Chinese comedy and about all of the crazy journeys I went on during that time. It's available on the internet. The info is gonna be in the bio, and it's my first book. It's coming out in February with Avid Reader Press and Simon & Schuster Publishing. It's like a real book. So tell your bookstores you want it. You go and pre-order it. Give it a try. Oh, and we're back and the water's ready. Second steep here for the raw pu'er. It has a very interesting kind of like flavor to it. It has a lot of sweetness. It has a astringency, which is kind of like that tannic, dry mouth feel that you get from red wine. So the Qianzhezhai raw pu'er I find to be a little bit less tannic than others, like Laobanzhang raw pu'er. That mountain in particular is known for having this really like rich, like, ooh, it's almost bitter, but weirdly enough, a good type of bitter. This is not as intense as that. And it's one of the reasons why we call this everyday raw pu'er. It's a very good flavor for being able to drink every day. It's not gonna be overly intense. It's not gonna be crazy. This tea is not aged that long. It's only been a couple years. It's a lot better than you would expect for a younger raw pu'er. A lot of people just don't drink raw pu'er unless it's aged up 5, 6, 7 years. I don't think you need to wait that long for this one. But if you do that, don't do it with the little tea coins. Get a 50-gram cake or bigger cakes when you're aging your raw pu'er tea. So there we go, very nice, very cool, great color. This is going to be the first one that we drink. Now we're getting into that nice gold. It's only the second steep, but already it's getting kind of darker than you would expect from a green tea. It's already got that gold color coming in there. Here we go, cheers. Yeah, fresh, very easy drinking. I get a lot of lemony notes, as I said, that sort of lemony citrus. But there's honey in there, floral scent and floral flavor in there. Huaxiang, the floral scent. Really, really nice. So the raw pu'er is kind of like local Yunnan people's tea. There's actually a whole region in Yunnan called Pu'er. Actually, the tea was called Pu'er first, and then the region was renamed to Pu'er, kind of like almost as like a marketing thing to let people know that like this is where the Pu'er is from. And the Pu'er teas tend to be a little bit like lighter and sweeter, more floral compared to the teas that come in the very deep parts of Yunnan, Menghai and Xishuangbanna, like those ancient tea groves that go all the way across Yunnan into northern Vietnam. This area up here is less tropical, and the tea kind of takes on a different flavor than if you're getting your tea from like way down in Menghai. I wouldn't say it's better or worse, but it is a little bit different. I actually think it's a little bit more accessible to new people because the flavor is kind of lighter, sweeter, cleaner, and it isn't as intense as some of that like deeper down in Menghai sort of stuff. That being said, it depends on how you steep it. If you want to steep this a longer time and kind of get more out of it, you can totally do that as well. I'm gonna give a little bit of this to our tea pets because I want to get further into this. This is also my third tea coin that I've had in a row while filming these videos, and so I've had a lot of tea already, and this is the most energetic of all of them. So if I drink 4, 5, 6, 7 cups of this stuff in addition to all the other stuff, I'm gonna be wired. Here we go. So you can really see it. It is loose leaf tea that's coming out. You can see some of the outside tea leaves now are basically fully open. Very, very nice tea. This tea is really fun because I have a video of myself on Sister I's Tea Mountain making this tea. So we took the leaves, we rolled them, we heat treated them, we kneaded them, we sun dried them. We did all of the steps involved in making this tea. If you've never seen that video, you should check it out. I remember being on the Tea Mountain with Sister I, grinding out these videos, being like, I really want you guys to see what I'm up to up here. I don't take it for granted at all that like I get to do all this awesome tea stuff because of you guys. Like your guys' support of the channel, liking the videos, but also buying the tea. That's what allows me to go back to the mountain every year and see the farmers and make sure that you're getting the good stuff. It's a virtuous cycle, but it's definitely something that relies on your support. And so thank you all so much for everybody who supported the tea house in any way. Nice rich gold color. The previous time I shot, I put the tea pets on my side so you guys couldn't see them. The only downside though is now I have like pig butt in every shot because you're seeing the front of the pig and I'm seeing the back. Here we go. Rich gold. Love that color. Cheers. Oh yeah, boom, now it's in. We're open. That tannic, astringent, raw pu'er taste. It's a little bit of a like it or don't like it sort of thing. There are lots of people I know that love tea and they try raw pu'er and they just can't get into it. On the other side, there's also people that try this and it's like, where have you been all my life? It becomes a very regular everyday tea. Again, it's great if you want to get stuff done, really intense tea energy. When I say tea energy, cha qi, this is the term that Chinese people use to revert to just basically the energy in the tea, how it makes you feel. It includes caffeine, but also L-theanine, all the other 100 chemical compounds that are in the tea that all kind of come together, you know, play around with your body and the receptors in your brain and the receptors in your gut to give you the feeling that you get when you drink the tea. And if you've never really had good tea and you're just like, tea is a drink, it tastes like food, it goes down the pipe, it's done. The good tea just makes you feel a little different way. The raw pu'er is definitely one of those teas where it's like, you know, finding a good raw pu'er that really gives you that great organic energy is really excellent. Also, the caffeine in tea is absorbed in your body in a different way than the caffeine from coffee. The caffeine from coffee, you kind of have this like boom and a crash, whereas the caffeine from tea, it kind of comes up slower and then stays longer. And so tea is really good for any sort of work where you're going to need to have focus over a long period of time. It's very good for me as a guy with ADHD, which is the thing I miss, is focus over a long period of time. That's what I don't get from my brain usually. This is also the reason why monks drink tea when they're chanting sutras and they got, you know, whatever, their beads or whatever, and then they can be chanting sutras for a long time over and over and over again in order to keep their attention. And the pu'er tea is very popular for that too. Here we go. Another cup. Cheers. Yeah. And then again, I've said it before, but the Sister I's tea, as far as that astringent flavor goes, it's not overwhelming. It's actually a good opener tea to people who want to try raw pu'er. We also have other aged raw pu'ers on the site. If you want to try an older one, you can get DuiDui's 2017 Yiwu Mountain raw pu'er. That's also very sweet, but it's aged longer than these guys, so it's going to have like kind of a richer, darker flavor to it. Really cool stuff. And one of the benefits for me also is that I can buy this stuff, and if I don't sell it, it's just getting better and better and better. So a lot of the tea friends that I know, including my friend DuiDui, Sister I, who made this tea, you know, a lot of their money they make by just having a lot of tea, and then every year they sell a little bit of it. And what they don't sell is getting more and more valuable. So oftentimes, you know, if you have 10,000 cakes of tea, you might sell 3,000 or 4,000 in the first year or two or whatever, and then you're down to 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000. A lot of the times you get down to 1,000 cakes. If you have 1,000 cakes of 10-year age, 15-year age tea that you have all the documentation for because you grew it yourself, like that tea can get very, very valuable. And oftentimes they'll make more money from selling those end teas that have been aged a very, very long time than they will from selling all of those tea cakes in the beginning. Unfortunately, as a tea guy in the West, nobody out there is buying 1,000 cakes of tea. So I can't really do things in the same way, but you know, we buy it straight from the farmer, we pack it, we put them into the tongs for you guys, or you can get them as individual cakes. You know, it's a different market. You know, the tea is still really, really good. It's still the same tea. Do one last steep here. All right, here we go. Raw pu'er is very nai pal. It means like patiently steepable. You can re-steep it many, many times. This tea coin, you probably get 10 to 15 steeps out of it. Depends how long you steep it, but look at this. You can see the tea coin is now fully opened. These big leaves, big whole leaves. Very, very nice. Now, once you get this open, you don't want to leave it as long as I was leaving those other steeps. I've had this in for 10 seconds, 15 seconds. That's already more than enough. A lot of times people are like, the raw pu'er is too intense. Literally, steep it 3 seconds. Try what it's like when you have boiling water in, basically by the time you're in, put down the kettle, steep it immediately. See if that lowers the intensity for you to the point where you're enjoying it. Everybody has different tastes, and so there really is no one right steep temperature or time to be able to tell you guys. I give you guys steeping instructions, and they're gonna be here in the video in the bio. But don't be like, oh, I tried it Jesse's way and it sucks, and Jesse's great at making tea, so this tea is like not for me. It may be for you, just adjust. If it's too intense, lower the temperature or the time. And then just like kind of go with what feels right. I will say though that the thing you wanna think about is surface area. When it was that really thick coin, it's really only the outside of the coin that's getting steeped. That's why the wash steep, that was so light. But now look at this stuff. You know, this is much more richer, dark gold. The color is completely different, and that's because the tea leaves are opened more. So you get this rich gold color, but like, look at the leaves. The leaves are really open. The water is getting in all amongst those leaves. It's steeping it really fast. This is also why certain types of tea that have small leaves steep very fast. There's more surface area. It's also why tea bags steep fast, because it's just like all surface area, because that stuff is just powder. There isn't that much tea in a tea bag. They give you almost no tea. So this is the test of the quality of the leaves. You know, there might be 5 tea bags, 6 tea bags worth of tea in this tiny gaiwan, and we're steeping all that tea with a relatively small amount of water. And if you do that with bad tea, it would be so bitter, you would never want to drink it. But if you do it with good tea, it comes out really rich. That's there, that's sweet, it's floral, it has that tannic astringency in there that I really like because I like raw pu'er, but it's not overwhelming, and it's not so intense that you can't drink it and just kind of like really throw it back, you know? So again, where the quality of the tea comes out when you do stuff like steep a lot of it at boiling in there for a very short steep time. If all the leaves are open and you have that short steep time, how good is the tea that comes out of it? That's the sort of thing that I'm looking for when I'm trying to select from like a higher end tea, as opposed to like, you know, the tea bag, or even like that sort of not that great loose leaf stuff. So cheers. Ah, very good. I'm gonna call it here. We could continue steeping this for many, many steeps. If you're like, hey, I'm not gonna want to drink that many steeps, or for raw pu'er in particular, you drink a little bit of it and you're already ready to go, what do you do with these other steeps? Well, you know, I encourage people not to leave it overnight because it could get moldy or whatever, but if you live in a cold area or that's not really a concern of yours, you could leave it overnight and steep it the next day. Flavor's not gonna be as good, but like, you're probably not gonna die. You can also take these leaves and put them into any sort of like vessel and put this in the fridge overnight, full of water, full of the leaves, and cold brew it. The cold brew works really well with these leaves because they're all very high quality, so they are going to respond very well to over steeping, as opposed to lower quality tea, you over steep it, that's when all the bitter stuff comes out. Also, as I said, invite friends over. This is a lot of tea for one person. You can actually break the coin in two if you want to do half a coin for a personal session. That's also fine. Just make sure you extend the steep time because you're gonna have less tea in there. But you can also invite friends over. Like, you know, I did a thing over Thanksgiving where I was making tea for my dad and like, you know, a whole bunch of his friends and my brother, like 9-10 people drinking 1 coin of tea. And that's the other thing about the really high quality tea, is it's just much better for hosting because you're able to have this, not just the tea, but the progression. You saw this tea when we did the first wash, how light it was. Now it's this dark gold. It's gonna continue to opening, actually. It's probably still going up in terms of strength because the leaves are just getting to be fully opened. It's really an experience. You have your friends over, you can have your family over, sit, talk, drink the tea, enjoy each other's company. It's good stuff, man. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Jesse, I'm your tea guy. If you want to support the tea house, like, follow, share, but also go to the website, jessieteahouse.com. I have all these teas and these tea equipments available there. This tea Tong is going to be available in all my markets in the US. We have a warehouse in New Jersey. In Canada, we have a warehouse in Vancouver. The EU, we have a warehouse in the Netherlands. And in the UK, we have a warehouse outside of London in Swindon. Basically, we have them all in there. The taxes have already been paid. If you're in the US store, we have a temporary tariff fee that we've added to be able to offset the cost of the tariffs. If you're not in the US, you're not paying that fee. I try to keep the prices as low as I can for everybody. You know, we did all of the work to do this right. You know, I have all of my testing, my heavy metals testing, my pesticides testing. We have SGS, which is one of the top testing companies in the world, ran 626 pesticide tests on all of these teas, and all of them came out up to EU standards, and the standards in the EU are very, very high. I spent $10,000 on that testing, people, for this. So I just want you all to know it is the good stuff. It's really good. Give it a try. The mini Tong sampler. We also have full Tongs, which, as I said, it's this, but it's a 50-gram cakes. All of the cakes are available individually as well if you just want one. I'm really excited to be able to get Sister I's tea to you guys and hear what you think about it. Leave a comment in the video if you've tried one of these before. What do you think? If you have any other tea questions, also put them in the comments so I know what more videos you guys want to see. Thank you so much for being a part of my tea journey and for choosing me as your tea guy. I'm Jesse. 多喝茶, drink more tea.